Yes, children, so we were learning about our human heritage, isn't it? About the famous Indian personalities, we can say. India is a country of different great persons, or India is a land of great personalities, we say. Because what India is today is actually is because of the contributions of several great persons from the ages. They have given us, or they contributed the great achievements, the famous works from the various spheres of life to the Indian society. So we are proud that they were once lived in India. So we were learning about those famous thinkers or mathematicians or economists or great leaders who gave success to our country, who gave progress to our country. So we were learning about them, and we were learning one by one about them, isn't it? So we learned about first Kabir Das, isn't it? Kabir Das. We learned about Kabir Das. He was a great poet, we know. Then he always believed in one God. He always tried tirelessly, or with a great effort, he tried to maintain a good relationship between Hindus and Muslims. And his famous work is included in the holy book of 6 Guru Granth Sahib. And there are many dohas or many poems of Kabir. It is so famous till today, and we are so happy, or we should feel proud that in school and in colleges and all children, they are learning Kabir dohas in different languages. Okay. Next we learned about Tansen. Another great personality is Tansen. He was a great singer, music composer, and especially in Hindustani classical music. And he was not only expert in singing but also at instrumental music. You can see the image here. Then he was one among the 9 jewels in the Akbar's court, and Akbar gave the title Mian to Tansen. And legend says that, or it is believed that because of his impact of singing, or the power of singing, he could bring out rain also, the area where he sings. Raga Deepak could light lamps, and Raga Megha Malhar could bring out rains, we say. It is believed that in the area where he sings, that because of his power of singing, this rain used to come. Okay. Then next we learned about Aryabhatta, isn't it? He was a great Indian mathematician and also astronomer, isn't it? Yes, he claimed that the earth rotates on its axis. Then he calculated the distance between the planets, and he set up an astronomical observatory in Bihar. Then in his famous book Aryabhatiya, there is a combination of mathematics and astronomy. So he was good at both maths, and also he was an astronomer. Okay. Then we learned about Dada Saheb Phalke. Dada Saheb Phalke. Dada Saheb Phalke, father of Indian cinema, we say. Father of Indian cinema. He had a great passion, or great emotion, great feeling on cinema. So he first learned art. He studied it in Mumbai. Then he went to England and he learned art and technology there. And he he made his first Indian cinema, Raja Harichandra. Then he made 96 movies and short films also. At the very young age, he did all these things. And those days, movies had no sound. Though it was a silent film without sound, only actions we can see. It was so famous, people used to enjoy it. And Government of India honored him with the award. Then we learned about Mirza Ghalib, a famous Urdu poet. Mirza Ghalib. He was a famous Urdu poet. There are many famous poems in Urdu. He has written many famous Urdu poems, and Urdu poets are really inspired by his work. And he was a great poet and royal historian in the court of Mughal King Bahadur Shah. Then we learned about Chanakya. We learned about Chanakya. He was a great advisor of the king or the emperor Chandragupta Maurya, and he studied or he taught at University of Taxila, and he authored important works. Two main works of Chanakya is Arthashastra and Niti Shastra. Arthashastra discuss about how money should be utilized, as well as about foreign relations also he mentioned in that, and also about war strategies, war plans, general plan, workout plan for a war. Then Niti Shastra. Niti Shastra, it talks about the ideal Indian way of life. So these are the famous book of Chanakya. So we learned about the great persons like Kabir Das, Tansen, then Aryabhatta, then Dada Saheb Phalke, then Mirza Ghalib, Chanakya. We learned about these great persons. Then there are many great Indian thinkers or mathematicians or workers or social reformers, social workers are there yet to be learned. So next we are going to learn about Srinivasa Ramanujan. Okay, children? So next is about Srinivasa Ramanujan. Who is he? Srinivasa Ramanujan was born in 1887 in Erode, Tamil Nadu. He born in Tamil Nadu. Today's Chennai. Okay, he was a great Indian mathematician. So he was a great Indian mathematician. Great Indian mathematician. Okay, like Aryabhatta, he was also a great Indian mathematician. Then, even though he could not complete his formal schooling, see, he couldn't complete his primary or secondary education. He couldn't complete his school. Then still he became a famous mathematician. Children should be more proud about him, isn't it? Yes, he continued to study mathematics on his own. He had a great interest on the subject maths or mathematics. So he continued, even though he couldn't complete the schooling, what he has done, he continued to learn mathematics. He developed various formulae that he sent to Cambridge University, England. He developed many formulae for maths. By learning about maths, he developed formulas and he sent to the Cambridge University in England. He was invited there because of its extraordinary talent, because of its special or extraordinary talent, and because he sent these formulas to them, they got inspired by him. They called him to England. So Tamil Nadu celebrates 22nd December in the memory of Ramanujan. December 22nd, they always in every year they remember, they celebrates in the memory of Ramanujan. So they are so proud that he born in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai. The Chennai people or Tamil Nadu people, they celebrates for his honor. Okay, on 22nd December every year. A stamp featuring a picture of Ramanujan was printed by the government of India in 1962. You have seen stamp upon stamp we can see stamp always will be like, a picture will be there, a famous queen or a king or a president, that picture will be there on the stamp. Actually those countries' stamp will be like the famous people in that country. So here a stamp featuring a picture of Ramanujan was printed by the government for giving him honor. Okay, so Srinivasa Ramanujan was born in Tamil Nadu. He was a great mathematician. He couldn't complete his school, but still he continued to learn mathematics. Then he developed his own formulas by himself. He sent those formulas to Cambridge University, England. They invited him for his extraordinary work. And Tamil Nadu, that state, every year they celebrate 22nd December as to remember about Ramanujan. Okay. Then Munshi Premchand. Next is about Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand. Next is about Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand was born in 1880 in a small village in Varanasi. Varanasi, Kabirdas also born in Varanasi, isn't it? Yes, so Munshi Premchand also born in 1880 at Varanasi. He wrote many great stories, novels and plays in Hindi. In Hindi language, he wrote many stories, great stories and poems also. He wrote many novels, he wrote many stories, big stories. He faced poverty but continued to pursue his writing. So he faced poverty. Poverty means he was so poor. He was not able to get food. Also means poverty. Poor people. No food on time to eat, isn't it? So he was in such a poor condition, but still he didn't stop writing. He continued his writing. Continued to write. His novels Godhan and Gaban have a special place in Hindi literature. There are two famous novels which are so special in Hindi work. Which are those novels? Godhan and Gaban. Godhan and Gaban. Okay, Godhan and Gaban are the famous novels of Premchand in Hindi. Okay, then his works are sensitively focused on the life of poor people in India. He always worked for the poor people in India because he came from that background. He was so poor, so he always focused on the poor people in India. His collection of short stories, Manasarovar, has been very popular, and his stories such as Idga with children as main characters are timeless. Timeless means what? Yeah, it is not affected by the passage of time. Actually, it is famous. Yes, so Premchand, children, he was born in a small village in Varanasi, and he wrote many great stories, novels and plays in Hindi language, and these are the main two novels he has written in Hindi, Godhan and Gaban, and he faced poverty. So means he was in such a poor condition without food and all, but still he didn't stop writing. He continued to write his novels, poems and stories and all, and his collection of short stories Manasarovar has been very popular, and his stories such as Idga, Idgah, with children, main characters in that story, Idgah, Idgah, Ida, we say Idgah, this famous story with children as main characters. In this story, children are the main characters. So, children are the main characters in this famous story, and it is timeless means still it is very famous or popular. This much of time passed by, years passed by, but still it is famous, or we say that it has not affected by time. That much famous is his story Ida with children as main characters. Next we learned about, you already heard about her, she is so famous, okay, you know about her, she is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was born in Albania in 1910. She came to India in 1929 because she wanted to serve as a missionary in Bengal. She born in Albania, then she came to India. Why she came to India? Because she wanted to serve the poor people, like missionary work. Missionary work means to give services, help to the people, those who need it. Okay. She taught at Loreto Convent School in Calcutta for 20 years. In Kolkata, one school is the Loreto Convent School. She taught there as a teacher. Then she was disturbed, and later she became headmistress also. She became the principal over the. Then she was disturbed by the conditions of the poor people living in the slums of Kolkata. In Kolkata, where she was teaching, there many slum areas were there. Many small streets where people are thickly populated, congested, and they were living in one room and a common washroom, like that. Slum areas were there and without food and all. So she took basic medical training, after which she started reaching out to poor people affected by hunger and diseases. So after taking a basic training, she started helping the people, those who are suffering for food. Then, and those who are not well, those who are affected with any diseases, she used to go and help them. She took medical training also for that. Okay, she won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for her service to the needy. She got Nobel Prize for helping the poor people in 1979. Nobel Peace Prize. You know what is a Nobel Peace Prize? Nobel Peace Prize. Actually, every year, annually we give this award. It's an international award given to the people for their famous works. It's a Nobel Peace Award, and also for the peace they are maintaining. Okay, she was also given at Bharat Ratna in 1980 for her social work. What all social services if she was doing, she got, Mother Teresa got Bharat Ratna Award also. It's a famous award. Okay, Bharat Ratna Award in 1980. So Mother Teresa, about her, she was born in Albania. She came to India. She wanted to serve the missionary. So first she taught in Calcutta school, and there by seeing the poor people in the slums of Calcutta, she took basic medical training, and she started helping the poor and needy, those who need food and those who want medical services. She go and used to help them. Then she won Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for her services for the poor. She opened a building where we can see many poor people. She accommodated many people there, and she and her followers, there are many sisters like her who helped her for doing these services, and she started an institution where she used to take the poor people or beggars from roadside here and there, and she made them to stay there, and she gave food and she gave medical treatment, everything. Such a good lady she was. She used to serve all the poor people. Wherever she find any poor, she used to take them to her home or where she lives, and the institution for them she started, and she long years she was there for only for the poor and needy. Okay, and she got the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 and for helping the poor and needy, and she also got Bharat Ratna Award. The government honored her with these awards. Okay, children. So we learned about Srinivasa Ramanujan. He was a great Indian mathematician, and even though he couldn't complete the schooling, he continued to learn maths, and he developed his own formulas, and he sent to England. They invited him, and he born in Tamil Nadu, so people of Tamil Nadu every year 22nd December they used to celebrate in memory of Ramanujan, and the government of India honored him by giving a stamp featuring picture of Ramanujan. It was printed there. Okay. by government of India in 1962. Then we learned about Munshi Premchand, and he was born in a small village Varanasi. He used to write great stories, novels and plays in Hindi language, and he faced poverty. So his main work, he focused on the poor people in India, and his short story Manasarovar is very popular, and his novels Godan and Gaban have a special place in Hindi language, Hindi literature, and his another famous novel or story we say Ida, with the children as main characters. Still it is very popular. Okay, then we learned about the our Mother Teresa. She was born in Albania, then she came to India, then she wanted to help poor and needy people. Okay, so she dedicated her life, or we say she devoted her whole life to helping the poor and needy around the world. Okay, but she was in Calcutta for many years, so she taught in a school there, and after seeing the people in the slum area, she took a basic medical training, and she started helping poor and needy people and those who have disease also, and she devoted her whole life for helping the poor and needy people. And there was an institution, she founded an institution, charity institution in Kolkata, only to serve the poor and needy people. Then she got a Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for helping the poor and needy, and she also was given Bharat Ratna Award. Okay children.